Hey, it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony with you here today. Much love going out to all the beautiful, empowered harmonizers. We are zooming in and focusing in on a great viewer question, and that is to do a video series or some videos that discusses how to develop that inward locus of control, that inner focus, and how to maintain it to become a habit lifestyle. In other words, not looking outside of ourselves to get the needs met, about self-love and high self-esteem. So, if your sense of self is based on certain conditions, certain people, certain events, then it's that event, that reaction, that person will have control over your self-esteem or your positive sense of self, positive self-regard or valuing of yourself. So if you have been programmed and conditioned in a relationship with a narcissist or a psychopath to put basically the cart before the horse, meaning the inner attention is not on you and how you feel and sort of that competence, but instead other things are substituting for its place. In other words, you are only loved if you put another first all the time, every time you get together. You're only loved and rewarded or acknowledged if you're giving gifts to somebody. If you have to modify and then shut yourself out in order to, make room for the ego of another. In other words, you have to minimize yourself to make room for another. You have to dismiss how you feel, your events, what's going on in your life, because another is more important, more fantastic, more amazing, more spectacular, whatever, that they are somehow in your mind above or superior or better than. So they might, have specific things that are different, but it doesn't mean that you need to suffer an inferiority complex. That is, couldn't be further from the truth, but that will, I would say, inferiority complex or not feeling strong enough, good enough, or confident can result sort of from putting the cart in front of the horse. In other words, if you're the horse and you're always putting the cart first, you're putting others first, you're putting whatever else that is not important ahead of you, and you're always sort of seeing this as an obstacle, and you're not able to get on your own power, your own horsepower. You're not able to just do, to be, to follow through, to have results or accomplishments where you feel you should be. In other words, you feel you're underperforming, you are not living up to your potential, you feel that there's more that you can tap into that you're not doing because there's something awry or askew with your focus. So that does develop when you are in a relationship, I would say, with a narcissist or a psychopath. You learn to develop keeping people happy, people pleasing, keeping them smiling, keeping them from yelling, keeping them from throwing things, keeping them from yelling at you, keeping the criticism down, keeping the text coming, whatever it is that you were deriving your feel-goods from. Realize that when those stop, if you're not in that feeling good, you have to realize then what is self-esteem and how does healthy self-esteem deal with the situation. Healthy self-esteem doesn't need that feedback loop. You are, that admiration from others, the reaction from others, even though it feels good, it is not necessary. A lot of people find that they are pining for approval, for compliments, for the wedding proposal, we're going steady, whatever it is that you might be waiting on from a narcissist or a psychopath. If you're waiting on something, then you are vacillating. You are allowing something to overpower you, and you're not giving yourself your own power. There might be a fear of success or a fear of failure, but either way, you have to identify what the fear is from you being independent, from your own sense of self? Where are you feeling that you're coming up short? And is that an irrational fear? Why are you allowing this to dominate your life when you're not looking at the big picture and your strengths, your accomplishments? Why? I would say because oftentimes in a narcissist or psychopath relationship, those get removed from view. It's always about someone or something else. And you feel that you're just a prop or you're just a support and you're not a stand up on your own. You're not a standalone person. You can't hold it on your own, when indeed you can, but you have to realize and then basically annihilate those negative self-limiting beliefs that make you feel that you aren't whatever, and then developing that external locus of control, meaning your needs met about self-love and high self-esteem. In other words, developing it within, meaning feeling good about self. It is not based on something superficial like appearance or something of that nature. There's something more within that comes to more of an aha realization where you develop self-respect. Respect for what you might feel are your own limitations, but those are the places where you will grow. So I would say if there is a certain degree of chronic criticism or belittling or feeling that this person is making you better because of specific things, and you have sort of taken that on and you don't feel good enough on your own, you have to look at why that is and change that thought process. You do have strength, credibility, and power within. This is just part of being a human being. You literally have power. Power to create, power to manifest, power to change, power to improve, power to be happy. But if you're focusing on the negative, then that is what will grow. If you're in a relationship with a narcissist or a psychopath that is, only developed a negative focus on you, or has only developed a positive focus about themselves, and you've sort of been complicit or enabling, why aren't the, why isn't it going both ways where, sometimes one's up, some's down, but, after all, there should be some degree of equilibrium. Otherwise, it is to select suffering and unhappiness for oneself. So realize that the inner work, you need to develop and then resensitize. I would say resensitizing meaning looking at all of your senses, your eyes, your ear, your taste, your touch, your sound, your higher thinking, your intuition, your higher order thinking. These are all areas where you can resensitize, waken up, and stimulate and get in touch with, develop a new relationship with, get to know and give kindness and compassion and consideration. In other words, develop that inner loop as it connects within rather than always sort of, checking in with someone else. How are you today? The picture. What do you think? What about what you think? What about how you feel? What about what's going on with you today? And auto-correcting that. So, how do we resensitize? Well, realize the power of the subconscious is primed by images. So if you are hosting and harboring negative images within, you're then basically creating a pattern for that negative image in your future. So it'll continue. It'll continue along that pattern until you break the pattern, you break the cycle, you break the decision making. And then, especially if, in moments when you think you're failing, say, this is not a failure. What is the solution here? And then focus and live in the solution. I'm a big believer in living in the solution. Even when things fall apart, you've got a mess. What is the solution? Breathe through it. Do not flip out. Do not bounce off the ceiling. Do not throw yourself, into a tizzy. Do not get yourself worked out. Undo the knot. So instead of escalating, de-escalate. Instead of getting amped up, decompress. Instead of, holding on, let go. And so, begin to get a feel for how you maneuver within these specific situations emotionally. And then how do you get that one step up, that micro decision in the right decision that keeps things on the up and up for you? And you're having a positive sense of self. I have a positive sense of myself. I am magnificent. I am a walking miracle. My body is miraculous. All the systems that work together in harmony are phenomenal. I mean, you need to look at and develop an appreciation also for yourself, just as everything that you have. I mean, and really develop an attitude of gratitude. I've been hard on you, self, and realize that and sort of give yourself an apology. Apologize to yourself. I'm sorry, we had to go through all that. I'm sorry I put myself through all that. I'm sorry I put you through all that. Develop that internal, but that happened, but things are better now. You are stronger now. I see it now. So developing, that within and not trying to, and then, so resensitizing, meaning what are you taking in with your eyes? What are you taking in with your ears? What are you taking in with your mouth? What are you taking in with your sense of touch? What are you taking in with your higher order thinking, your intuition? And resensitize that. Develop what is comforting within, strengthening within, what you need, not needing permission from somebody else or approval or validation. That looks good, that is good, remove, and I would say, get away from. Don't participate in judgment statements for a while. Give yourself a relief rather than this is good or this is bad. This can also just stop judging, and see how that feels for like about maybe half an hour. If you stop judging things, this is good, this is bad, this is a mess, this is perfect, this is trouble, this is, so just stop labeling things based on judgment will also help to give you some relief and that internal locus of control, because oftentimes those judgments are installed, programmed, and conditioned from the judgment of others where, maybe they're trying to, throw somebody under the bus and then get attention for them. So where did you lose that inner focus? Peace and harmony, it's been for 20 years. Okay, don't worry about it. 20 years, 20 years. That was then. This is now. You're at now a clock. This is where we're at. This is where you are. This is what we have. This is the best opportune moment. This basically is the crossroads. So give yourself basically some time out and allow yourself to not feel threatened if you are not constantly doing something with somebody or for somebody. You can do things for other people and that might feel good, but if you are sort of always looking for that reflection from them, and that's part of it where, you're giving, or doing something for them and you're putting yourself last, you're, you might feel it's humbling yourself, but it's not, giving you the gratitude, the feel good, then look at and evaluate that, say, okay, that's not necessary for me to do anymore. My sense of self-worth is not based on that. And, to what degree is there a negative habit here that I need to look at? And if so, can I feel comfortable eliminating that, that negative habit? So for a lot of people, people pleasing might be a crutch. It might be a way for them to not have to deal with some specific inner work of valuing themselves. They don't know where to start. So you can just start wherever you're at, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be done perfectly. It doesn't mean you have to say the right thing. Oh, I said something wrong. Don't worry about it. Stop the pressure. It's realizing that you are magnificent just the way you are. It doesn't matter if you're blue, purple, green, black, orange, chartreuse, you are I am. I am. And then just and proclaiming that. I mean, keeping it ultra simple and then not defining it by the negative or the positive, and then allowing yourself sort of to be in that existential. And I am, and then strong. I am free. I am liberated. I am liberated from the bad habits. I am not in trouble. I am safe. So you have to sort of really have a deliberate, and oftentimes what really works to reprogram is the written word and then feeding it to your eyes. So you need to feed your eyes with the positive statement. Today is a wonderful day. I am strong. I am strong no matter what. I am important. I am important no matter what. My feelings are important. My feelings are important no matter what. My outlook and my perspective is important. My outlook and perspective is important no matter what. So you have to develop, I would say, some real sort of percussive ways for you to keep a rhythm through your day. When you're finding you're going to bottom out or you feel like you're making a mistake, here I go again. Stop. Everything is okay. I've got this. And then you find what you can do then to enjoy in that present moment. In other words, where were you going off, and what can you enjoy? What is that meant to teach you? What can you derive? What can you receive from that? And oftentimes when you need to do that I am U-turn, usually there is a gift in that moment. And you can ask yourself, what is the gift of this moment? And then ask yourself that, and then allow, a gut reaction just before you censor it, before you go, oh, that was just my imagination. Write it down. What was the gift of this moment? And then you'll find what's rewarding and valuable to you that's really just underneath your awareness, but you have to get that awareness. That is really, I would say, one of the most exciting things, where change and growth and creativity truly happens and blossoms, is in those changes, in that resolution, in that deprogramming and deconditioning of the negative, and that people pleasing to tilt and shift the weight onto you as it remains fairly, realistically, pragmatically, and practically, not crazy making, not out of proportion, not grandiose, but actually solid. So finding that of yourself. I mean, literally, taking in the positive, writing down your astralmations so that you see them and then you are reading them. I am calm. What is the big thing? Stay calm and carry on, or stay calm and vote, stay calm and exercise, stay calm. I mean, that was a big movement, I think, for the past 2 years. So having the written word that you create for yourself is feedback, it's like a road sign for your emotions, an emotional road sign. Peace and harmony, everybody's going to think I'm crazy. Okay, great. Well, guess what? You're innovative. Guess what? You're in charge. Guess what? You are empowered. And guess what? It works. When I was just beginning in business, there was a certain amount of work that I had to do. So I put a goal up. I wrote my goals. It was a specific goal of, an amount that I had to produce for my company. And I wrote these figures out, and I would gaze upon them every day. And I would feed my subconscious, that I'm going to get this big client, this big global client that I got. And I will do this, and I will win that trip. I will win that convention. I will win the President's Club. And I wrote these on the wall with just a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper, that you get in a stack like this with a Sharpie pen. Well, guess what? Yours truly accomplished the goal and knocked it out of the park. I mean, these things work. So I hit my President's Club. I hit the Convention Club. I was able to travel to Japan. I was able to travel to the Caribbean. I was able to get trophies, medals, pins, but I put my goals out where I can see them. Successful people will write their goals down. This is just what they do. You have to realize that this primes the subconscious mind. The answer. You can read the book by John Ashcroft, I think the book, that talks about this, the power of visualization. That in psychology really is knowing how to prime the subconscious, having, positive feedback from and input from your environment that, empowers you, that stimulates you, that makes you feel good. This is a personal decision. You put a sticky note on the mirror, smile today. I mean, people will go for days without smiling, and then they'll realize, and then if you put a sticky note on your mirror in the bathroom or on the fridge, I have a good life, smile, and, do you see how, and then, these things need to be reinforced. And all of a sudden you find you're smiling more naturally. That means you're then on the subconscious brain and you're happier and you're not afraid to smile. You're not afraid to relate to somebody. You can have just a conversation. It doesn't mean you have to get their phone number, their address, a date, do you see how this can change? So this is just one aspect or one tool. And then, developing what I also call, having like a visualization collage too. Taking a bunch of magazines and cutting out images of things that speak positively to you. Images that you like, clothing, cars, people, flowers, food, whatever it is that is, colors, shapes, whatever it is, find get a poster board, get a glue stick, get some scissors and some magazines, and, create a vision board for yourself that's surrounding with the things that you want. Maybe you're trying to find, a mate or a better friend. And then, you might see a picture of somebody in a magazine that looks like this person. I like this kind of person. This person's chill. This person's grounded. This person's down to earth. And then develop a vision board and then find that all of a sudden you begin attracting this into your life, almost times with eerie accuracy. Try these things. You literally have the power to create, manifest. Give yourself the tools, plug them in, do the do, do what is required. The resensitization, what are you listening to? Are you having a lot of agitating news talk in the background that's keeping you agitated? Are you keeping beautiful 432 hertz music going on? Are you listening to beautiful music, or are you pumping up music that is just all about looking cool or something like that? And realize what is giving you the lasting sort of sustainable energy that you need, and then that will carry and then take you to the next level. But you need to be able to get into that foundation level and do that foundation work and stay the course, stick with it, use the tools day in, day out for at least 30 days to develop and see a change. And we will go into more of this if this is helpful for you. This is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share, please subscribe, and for goodness sake, please donate for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support. Have a beautiful day.